Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. Double time today. Double time. Hello, Instagram peeps. Hello, everyone in YouTube land. How y'all doing today? Authors Excerpt Sunday is starting from the beginning. First comes the title. Starting from the beginning, first comes the title. When you are in the process of thinking about writing a book, what comes to mind first? When when I had to come up with a title. I had to come up with this title for this book that I was like, oh wow, like okay, I was gonna call it something else, or calling it this, and calling that, calling it, and then it came to me. It says, "Coming to Loving Yourself." That was a title. It comes to you when you think of the title of your book. It comes to you in a moment where you were not thinking about your book. That's how sometimes it works. It works as like, okay, well, I haven't got a title yet, but let me start writing the story. Okay, but always eventually comes it's like sometimes we think of that title and we like, okay, I don't know what I want to name it, and then you think about everything that you want to put in the book, and then sometimes the name comes to you that way, where you start writing, and then you be like, oh, I don't know, and you're like, I don't know, but like I said, that title always comes to you when you always in the process of you think all the stuff that goes into the book. Sometimes it comes to you that way. You already started writing the book. And you be like, oh, this would be a nice title for this book. You know? And so and it says, when you decide to write a book, you want to start with the title. The title is the most important part of the book, along with what you're gonna put in this book, what you're gonna put in it, what's gonna be inside, what's gonna make readers wanna grab this book and just read it, right? And sometimes books are written out. No, not sometimes. All the time, books are always written out of either emotion or imagination. People, I've seen so many books written. They have so much imagination and like Harry Potter book. Okay, you got Harry Potter. Okay, that's an imaginary story. Okay, then you got some. You go to the fuck. Then um, you go from fiction to nonfiction. Like my book, Coming to Loving Yourself. It is an autobiography. Sometimes it's the truth and it's the telling the truth, and then there is telling a thing of like some in your mind. We all have a vivid imagination. We always have a vivid imagination of we're like way in this land, and land is made up, and we're going through the lilies, and then sometimes we go through the deserts, and then now you see a lot. Now you see an increase in books that are made in the movies, and sometimes the movie and the book have a real differentiation in the two, but they still try to stick to the storyline in the book, but sometimes the storyline is modified. Hello, how are you doing today? Fat Fred, hey Fred, what's up, Fred? How you doing, babies? So, and it says part of okay, it tells you what the story is going to be about. The title of this book says, example, Coming to Loving Yourself is a book about life, is a book about experiences, a book about what pains and sorrows, happiness and joy. It goes from one emotion to another. It carries you through a person's life. That's an autobiography. Then you have another book. It's or it could be motivational. It doesn't have to be about your life. It could be a motivation book. motivation, to give inspiration to people. So then you got, it's a transitioning from an old to a new mindset, lifestyle, or perspective. So sometimes that's good when you're writing a book. When you're writing a book, then sometimes the titles to books say something totally different. Okay, I picked this book up. I picked the book up one day. I picked it off of Amazon, and I'm the type of person where I love to read. I love to read. So my thing is, I pick out books sometimes out of random just to see what they're gonna be about. Buy them and read them on my tablet. But more, I'm a book lover. I love hardbacks and paperback books. I love to hold a physical book in my hand, and I have a library that is out of this world. So I decided to get back into that when I started. When I started this new me. So my thing is that I pick up a book and sometimes read it and be like, this sounds interesting. Okay, let me see what this book about. Then you start reading, and the book is good at first, and then it's good. Either the book is good, if the book is good, you're gonna continue to read it until you can't put it down. When a book is not good, a person read the first couple of lines in the book and be like, that's like totally a turn off. Like I had one time this book, I read this book. In the beginning of this book, the thing was I tried to get a book a chance, but I just couldn't get past the intro. The intro. Well, just it's what was it? The intro was. I mean, it was kind of threw me off. The title, the book title was beautiful, but then the intro was, here's my book, just read it. It's got sequences to it, and just can you just read it? Just read it. I'm like, really? That's how you gonna do an intro on your book? Anyway, we'll talk about that something else some other time. My thing is, you want to draw the readers in with your titles. Draw them in with your titles, like say I got a title with, it says God's God's unendless love. God's unendless love. What does that title tell you? To me, the title will tell me God's endless, never, well, God's endless love. It shows about a period of, you could put it in poem form. You could do it in a whole books, a book, a book format, and or it could be like little short stories, like maybe 2, 3 pages, maybe 5 pages, something like that. God's endless love. Now, God's endless love could have uh like different people in the book. You can also do that. Get like 10 people to share their stories of what God's endless love means to them. Put them together and turn around, and then you have a book. Everybody individual stories. Maybe you wanna critique it at 2,000 words. Okay, you wanna stop it at 2,000 words. Put it in 2,000 words, or 5,000 words or whatever. Put that and then put them all in a book, and it be just be a festive of different stories for people to really get into. Your title tells a story. Your title tells that you are the person. This is what your heart is feeling. This is how you're feeling. This is how your spirit is feeling. This is what your imagination is dealing with. This is a book is telling your story. Whether it's imaginary, fiction, nonfiction, sonnets, poems. It's there. And the thing is that it is very important that we have that we deal with that we modify with that we all have this thing of telling a story. So I want to thank you. Well, how can I say this? If you this year I'm starting something new. This year I'm starting something new. If you're an author and you need help with your book, reach out to me. I will you can click on my bio, my email address in my bio. You can get in contact with me if you're an author that needs help with your book. I want to help authors this year step out from behind the screen and in front of the screen. And I want you to be happy with your work. I want you to work on your work, and then we're gonna publish this work of art. We're gonna publish this work of art. This is my new thing this year. I want to help other authors, help them with their books, to publish their books and get their work out there. Because there's so many people. I run across people that love to write, and they write, and they don't want to publish their stuff. Hey, I give you that. I give everybody got right the way they feel. And, hey, some things I've read on a personal basis. This person, I've read some stuff where people need to write this. It will be mind blowing stuff. Okay, and the thing is that it's just a matter of time, just a matter of time, And it's like you got to free your mind, get it into the habit of I'm gonna let somebody in instead of having myself closed off. Let somebody in instead of having myself closed off. So, you know, sometimes it might take you all day to even it might take you even through the concept of your it's take you to the concept of you can write the whole book and still don't have a title to it until sometimes you had to sit and read that book again. Hello, Meadows. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, babies. Hi. So, like I said, sometimes you can write a book. You can write a book, a whole book, and do not have a title to the book until maybe you might want to read the story again. Read your. I'm gonna give this tidbit of advice for all potential authors. Always reread your work. Tell you why. Always reread your work. Reread it chapter by chapter. Reread it when the editor you send it to the editor send it back. Tell you something. This is some advice. Read it. Read it because sometimes you could miss some stuff, or you could write something one way, write something in one chapter, and then rewrite it again in another. I know from experience. So my thing is always reread your stuff. If you don't reread, give it to somebody else that loves to read, and then you ask them their opinion of what do you think about this chapter. What do you think about how does it sound? How does it, does it flow? Does it have an even flow? Does it hop, skip, and jump? Does it take you on a ride? Does it take you on a up and down? How do you feel about the chapter? Always get somebody to reread your work because you never know. You never know. I even have seen it where I have opened a book, read the book, and have had the person have misspellings in it that you wouldn't think they would have misspellings in their book. Okay? And catch that. The person that catches that, get you a good reader, get you a good editor, get you a good proofreader, get those things. So I want to say I love you. I just called. I know, right? I try to add a little humor in my videos because don't nobody want no boring video. I know I don't. Um, I want to thank everyone for coming in. It always starts off at the beginning. Starting from the beginning, first comes the title. Your title means the world. Your title means the world to your audience. Your title means what is this book about? Where is it going to take you? And where you're going to end? Right? Sometimes titles tell you that, like coming to loving yourself. You start out one place and you go and end up somewhere else. That's how sometimes it be. You go and come and go and come, but your title is everything. I want to say thank you for coming in to Author's Excerpt Sunday. I want to thank you for coming in to Author's Excerpt Sunday. And if you have a book and you need help, contact Sharice Johnson Moore LLC and let's work together. I like working one on one. Working one on one is my specialty. Working one on one. We can get that. We can get that book published. We can get it done. We can get it set. We can get it out. And don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Okay. Information in the bio. I love y'all. And I want y'all to have a nice day. Bye, babies. I'll see you next Sunday.